The following program is rated D for dumb.
Hi, David.
Hi, Dad.
This is
Dad.
Harold.
And Harold,
I
yes.
called you twice. You haven't answered.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, boy.
I don't know what. When I called the other time, it said it was blocked, so I waited.
Well, that's different. Okay.
Yeah, so I was just wondering, what's going on with the room and everything. Let me know. You can call me this afternoon, okay? Love you.
Okay, love you too, Daddy.
Bye. And this message was left
Bye-bye, Daddy. All right, that's one of the voices of Harold calling me, checking in on the room that my mother was in during her rehab from her stroke back in 2018. So let's rehab from our lives with a little bit of Going for a Drive.
9 o'clock, I'm bored to death. Smoke so much I can smell my own breath. My baby left me, my best friend's not at home. Can't get that woman off my mind. I've never been the broody kind, but there's still one thing makes me come alive. Yeah, I'm gone for a drive.
The following podcast is rated D for dumb. You're listening to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth. Listen to Dave commute to and from work on the New York State Thruway in his 2008 Kia Rio LX. He talks about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Join Dave as he asks and tells you how life ought to be. And now, here's Dave.
All right. It is me. I am here. You are there. And together, we're together, whatever. Are you guys ready to dumb it down? Because I'm ready to dumb it down. All right, that is fantastic. And I am actually recording this on September 6th at 10:57 p.m. on my couch. On my couch in the living room, because I waited, of course, once again, waited a little bit too long to do a podcast. I think I need to do a podcast. You know what? I'm so off. I don't even know. Maybe I don't need to do this one. Maybe I've already done 2 this week. I guess I should have checked. But I felt compelled to do it because we got to catch up anyway. So if this is an extra one, it's an extra one. Maybe it's a bonus one. It doesn't really matter. We'll do the best we can. But we have a chance to get right to it because there's really nothing else going on. So let's get right to it. Let's go to the episode that I want to talk about, and we'll do some comments, and we'll try to catch up this week. There's really nothing else to say. Let's just do it. There's other things to say, and I'll say it eventually, but let's just get to it. To start it off, let's say this. Let me just tell you this. If you have something to say about this or any episode, let's say you're not listening to us on Spreaker, you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple or Stitcher, and for some reason recently, in the last week or so, people have been listening a lot from the Dumbing It Down with Dave website. People are checking out the Dumbing It Down with Dave website, and they are listening from there. So I really appreciate it. And there is a contact form. So if you are listening on the website, there is a contact form. You go, I think it's, is it the About Us? It could be About Us. It could be Contact, but there's a contact form. You fill it out, and it does work. I get it. I get the emails. So you can send me a message through that. It's a typed message. Or you can verbalize your message by calling the Dumbing It Down with Dave hotline. It's also called the Dumbline. And that number is 3477-I-AM-DUMB. 3477-I, the letter M, dumb, D-U-M-B. Or if you're into numerology or just like your numbers, it's plain and simple, 347-746-3862. That's 347-746-3862. Try to keep it under 60 seconds with clean language, and maybe I'll play it on the next show. So what do you think about that? So I tell you what, before I even get into this episode that I published on July 6th, let's go to one of those messages. We got a message the other day, so let's go to it. Where is it? I have it right here, and we'll play it. See if you recognize this voice.
Hey Dave, it's Pat Marookie. How you doing there? Heard the latest show. Yes, one thing though, got to correct the pronunciation of my wife's last name. It's Randy Simon Lupo. I got to correct that. And as for the Uncle Floyd show, yeah, he never ran on public access. He ran on what they call leased access. Started out in the 70s.
We're talking about Uncle Floyd.
Then he was on channel 68, which was U68, which was a UHF channel. And then he was on NBC, syndicated on NBC for a while. That's probably where you saw it. And then also he was on New Jersey Network, on New Jersey's public CBS station for like a year or so. And he was on up until the early 2000s, and like that. Some more stuff I could tell you about it, but I'll leave it short. All right, love what you're doing, Dave. Keep doing it. Big fan. Even though I don't comment all the time. Big fan. All right, bye, Dave.
I love that. Big fan. Even though I don't comment a lot of the time. That's okay, Patrick. I appreciate you calling in. Yes, Patrick, thank you for calling in. So it's Randy Simon Lupo. Wow, look at that. I've been saying Simone, but isn't that better? Randy Simone Lupo. I always thought of Simone, but Simon, I think it's better with Simone. It also would be great if she called in, but whatever. I'm going to interview her one day. I'll interview Patrick too. But there you go. Okay, so thank you, Patrick, for calling in, giving us a little bit of an Uncle Floyd update. I was hoping to do one on my own because Patrick has been streaming his shows. And I think they had a relationship. He didn't mention that in the phone call. So I'll find out from Patrick if they had a relationship, like a business relationship. Maybe Patrick produced his shows or whatever it was. I don't know. But I missed that. I missed all of that Uncle Floyd thing. There was two things that I know that some of my very nerdy friends were into. One, my nerdy friends were totally into Monty Python. My nerdy friends were totally into Monty Python. And also they were into this Uncle Floyd thing. But I missed it. I missed it all. I just, I don't know what to tell you. But he got an audience and you heard that history. So it is what it is. I just missed it. And but Patrick is streaming it. So if you want to check out this Uncle Floyd and figure out what that's all about, go to Patrick Maruki on Facebook. And he's streaming. I think he does it on Thursdays. All right. And one other thing. Hal Aaron, you know, the theme song that we play at the top of the show, that theme song, where is it? I actually have it somewhere here, without actually, it doesn't really matter. Let me see if I can do this. Where are we? Let's pause. Yeah, there you go. If you want to get a copy of this song, you can do that, all right? I can't even tone it down. I wish I could tone it down, but I'll have to stop it. Because otherwise, okay. So if you want to
up? Oh, this is Hal in Philly.
Oh, there he goes. He's everywhere. Go to Hal Aaron at bandcamp.com. Hal Aaron at Bandcamp. Or just go to Bandcamp. It's www.bandcamp.com. And you can actually buy that song. You can buy the theme song to the show. It's a 4-minute show. 4-minute song. And it's called, the song is called I'm Going for a Drive. And he's only charging $1. $1 for a digital download. But here's the thing. You could actually contribute more than $1 if you'd like, because you know Hal is a musician who makes his money on live gigs, and unfortunately with the COVID, his gigs have decreased. I think basically to zero. And you could send it as a gift, by the way, too. So you could buy one song and give more than $1, or you could buy 10 songs and just send them out as gifts to people that you know. Gifts, GIFTS. And by the way, you get the lyrics to the song too. You can see all the lyrics. So let me just give a little credit here. Written and performed by Hal Cohen. Produced by Barry Keys, Keys. Piano is Barry Keys, Keys. And lead guitar is Aaron Wolfson. So there you go. It sounds like there's other instruments on there, but it is what it is. And he's got it listed as country, folk, rock, acoustic pop, and blues. There you go. So do Hal a favor. Hal has been gracious enough to let me use the theme song, and we all love it. So if you could help Hal out with buying the song for $1. I mean, it's $1. I mean, we should sell 1 million of these. It's $1. You can't afford $1 for a song. It's $1. And there you go. Okay. So thank you, Hal, and thank you, everybody, for helping Hal out. Listen, it's not a charity thing. It's not a sympathy thing. It's a great song. But it'd be great if you can help him out and buy a song for $1. Okay, there we go. Let's continue on. we are going to do some listeners' comments and try to catch up because I'm way behind. And I like to be on top of it. I like to, hopefully do these like within a week of the show being done. We'll see how it goes. Okay, Another Friend Bites the Dust. That was the show. This is the show that we're doing. Another Friend Bites the Dust, and I published it on July 6th of 2020. In this episode, Dave explains and recounts the events that started from a simple copy and paste of a well-written post on Facebook and ended up in an argument that basically ends a friendship. Isn't that amazing? All my male relationships go south, every one of them. And what is the fortune cookie quote that's in here? You know what the difference is in my emotional issues versus everyone else's? I don't put them on other people. I don't affect you. When I'm with other people, I'm on my best behavior. Yeah, I don't know. Like I had my my buddy who I went motorcycle riding with, and I got the motorcycle because he encouraged me to get a motorcycle. He says, I need a riding buddy. So, okay, well, I'm not going to get the motorcycle for nothing. I already got a built-in riding buddy. That's good. And then it turns out like he has one view on politics and I don't share that view. Notice I didn't say I have another view. I'm just saying I don't share his view. But I don't oppose his view. I just don't share it. And I don't even mention my view. But whatever it was enough to no longer be my friend and to be my motorcycle riding buddy. So it is what it is. So this guy here, this guy that I work with, he posted something on Facebook. And I don't know if I'm even going to be able to find it. Maybe I can find it. I don't even think I follow him anymore, or maybe he's not even posting anymore. I don't know. I'm going to take a look and see if it's in here. And no, do I follow him? Yeah, it says that we're still friends, but I think he eliminated all his posts because his page is empty. Well, that's interesting. Isn't that interesting? He eliminated all his posts. I haven't been on his page in a long time. Wow, that's really fascinating. That's a pretty interesting move to get rid of every post on your page. Unless for some reason he blocked me. Oh, wait. No, everything just showed up. So, let's see. Let me see. All right. Amazingly, I found it. I just spent you can't tell because I just hit the pause button, but I actually found this comment. So, this is going to be one of those episodes where I thought I was going to catch up 3 or 4 episodes with listeners' comments, but that's not going to happen. So, let me just read you what was copy and shared by a colleague of mine and a former friend, I guess. And he writes, this was copy and shared and not written by me. So I didn't write it. I just copy and shared it. But he didn't write it. He just copy and shared. But this is what he copy and shared. So I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to tell you what I wrote and explain to you how this all went down. But I did an episode on this, but I just want to reiterate, and then I'll get to, if I can, I'll get to listeners' comments. So this is what he wrote. I stand behind you in line at the store with a smile on my face and a gun in my holster, and you are none the wiser. Yet you are safer for having me next to you. I won't shoot you. My gun won't pull its own trigger. It is securely holstered with the trigger covered. It can't just go off. However, be assured that if a lunatic walks into the grocery store and pulls out a rifle, and by the way, this can come in the grocery store. This is not. I'm just editing this. It could be a knife. It could be a rifle. It could be just a person who's out of control. Right? It doesn't have to be a rifle. I will draw my pistol and protect myself and my family, and therefore protect you and your family. I may get shot before I can pull the trigger, but I won't die in a helpless, blubbering heap on the floor begging for my life or my child's life. No. If I die, it will be in a pile of spent shell casings. That's very romantic, isn't it? I won't be that victim. I choose not to be. As for you, I don't ask you to carry a gun. If you are not comfortable, then please don't. But I would like to keep my right to choose to not be a helpless victim. This is the evil in the world. There is evil in the world. And if evil has a gun, I want one too. Okay, so there's some very good parts there. It's a little, dramatic, but I get it. Somebody's trying to make a point. I was very supportive of this. So I'm so supportive, I responded. And by the way, I was the first one to respond. And I don't know how quickly after he posted it. He posted it on June 14th. It doesn't say at what time. But I was the first to respond. Did I share it? I think I shared it. I did share it. I shared it after I wrote my positive review. And my positive review was well written, WELL, well written and well said. Right? That's it. And then I posted, I shared it on my page, and I wrote that, where's my thing? Oh, yeah. And by the way, I'm the only person that shared it. Out of all his friends and all his conservative and political and patriotic friends, I'm the only one that shared it. And I wrote, for the most part, I agree. Do you? And then I got a couple of comments, but it doesn't, that's fine. I don't need to have comments on this, but I got a couple. So I wrote, well written and well said. And then Patrick Maruki, he wrote, on face, I agree, but the question is, what kind of training did he receive so he doesn't shoot a bystander by accident? That's a fair question. That is a fair question. What type of background check did he receive? Psychological? Question mark. What's his mood at this point in time? Did he just get off the phone with someone and is angry and very irritable? Maybe he's tired, right? Maybe he left his glasses home. He doesn't have his glasses or whatever. Again, on the face, I agree. So Patrick Maruki agrees. But it's not always black and white. There's gray areas in life, right? Yeah, I agree too. And then somebody responded to Patrick Maruki, this is my issue too. The number of states that allow crazy people to obtain guns with no training and nothing more than an ID is staggering. Okay, well, I don't know anything about that, but if that's true, that's kind of interesting. Then I wrote, Patrick Maruki, I agree. That's why on my share, I wrote for the most part. That's what I wrote. I wrote for the most part, I agree. But I'd rather live in a world, and I wrote in parentheses, like I think I used to, where this situation wasn't a concern, it didn't exist. I remember once upon a time, we never talked about these things. Not that that's good and not that that's bad. I just remember a time where life was just a little bit simpler. And it seems like we're way more about this than we've ever been before. And there are reasons for it that are good and bad. And, it just gets very complicated. I can't cover it in one episode and all by myself. So the author of this Facebook post writes to Patrick Maruki, plenty of training. That's what he wrote. Plenty of training and rides on a very even keel. Just like most CC permit holders. And I like the fact that he writes CC, like anybody knows what that is. But it's concealed carry or something like that. Carry, conceal, whatever it means. But I just don't like when people assume that I know what you're talking about, because I'm not a gun guy. I'm not whatever amendment that is. I don't know anything about it. But he wrote, plenty of training, rides on a very even keel, just like most CC permit holders. A higher level of responsibility. Okay. And then he asks, Patrick, are you a CC holder? Doesn't explain what a CC holder is, but he's asking. So, by the way, that was 11 weeks ago. So that was the end of the thread. Patrick Maruki moved on. I moved on. We all moved on. It really wasn't that fascinating. It was just like, we had a little conversation. But Patrick's under no obligation to answer if he's a CC holder. He was done with the thread. Facebook works like that. Sometimes the Facebook thread goes on a lot. Sometimes it doesn't go on at all. So this one ended. Everybody was done with it. Nobody cared. And then all of a sudden, let me see how long it took him. 2 weeks later, it took 2 weeks. This thread died. 2 weeks later, the author, the copy and paster, posts, question mark, question mark, question mark, or just the defenseless sheep. Wow. 2 weeks went by. Nobody gave him an answer. Question mark, question mark, question mark, or, dot, I'm sorry, dot, or just the defenseless sheep. No disrespect, but we have crazy outlaws with illegal, in capital letters, illegal guns, and you question? How dare you? You question, I wrote that, you question citizens, in capital letters, with legal guns? Look around you right now. Feeling good? / / 2 million NICS checks a month since this shite stain started. By the way, does anybody know what NICS is? I have no clue what NICS is. But 2 million NICS checks a month since this shite stain started, a half of which are new gun buyers. They need training. Lots of libs buying guns. train them, carry if you want. Things are getting ugly. / / / And then he got me involved because he called me wishy-washy and he called me the P word. But he has since deleted that post because the next post is me saying, how did I get involved? How did I get involved in this? I was just shopping. I was at ShopRite with my wife. I was shopping. And my phone starts buzzing. And I said, besides, whatever he wrote, he deleted it because he's embarrassed. He's embarrassed. So he deleted it. Then I wrote, besides, this thread was dead to me. I said, carry on. That's all. Carry on. Do what you got to do. And then he wrote nonsense to me. He just puts my name, nonsense. I'm like, what does that even mean, nonsense? So I wrote, not to me. I've made my decision. See? I made my decision. I wrote, well written, well said. I mean, he was questioning my feelings and my words, but I already made my words clear. I was very supportive. I shared the post. And he wrote, no, I don't see. And I go, well, let me know when you go shopping, because I was making a joke about his article because it takes place in the supermarket. Let me know when you go shopping, and I'll tag along and write shotgun. See what I did there? I used the word shotgun. I made fun of the whole thing, trying to keep it light. And then somebody wrote, anybody can get a gun in Florida, and we have the craziest people in the country living down here. So that was it. And this guy, or this author, actually clicked like. So anyway, I guess we became not friends. And, that's going to have to be okay. He wasn't happy with me. Oh, yeah, then it went to text. So that's what that was all about. So what did I say? Oh, I was going to read the listeners' comments. So forget about what it is that I did. We exchanged in text. But here's what happened. So Patrick Maruki wrote, wow. First off, I really enjoyed the show. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate it. And thank you again for your Google voicemail, for calling the Dumbline. Personally, I believe that people this is what he wrote, Patrick Maruki. Wow. First off, who's married to Randy Simon Lupo, by the way. Or is it Lupo? See, I like Simone Lupo. See, I don't think that makes it more exotic, but whatever. Patrick Maruki wrote, wow. First off, I really enjoyed the show. Personally, I believe that people tend to project their own failings and or issues onto other people. Clearing this guy, I think it's clearly. Clearing this guy has a lot of stuff going on. I know the Spreaker chat is horrible. Once you make a mistake, it's like hard to go back. It's a pain. I got to tell him about that. Clearly this guy has a lot of stuff going on. I had a feeling it was going to go somewhere crazy, in quotations. Please don't stop doing this podcast. I really enjoy it, and I'm sure other people do also. Yeah, you know what? I realize now, looking back, that I started to feel bad because somebody doesn't like me, because I lost a friend. And I felt bad about that. I'm like, really? Well, I thought I lost a friend. I lost an acquaintance and a coworker, but he still works with me. So, and I guess we're still acquainted. So Patrick Maruki also wrote, also, obviously from his response, both online and in his text to you, he is not even-keeled, which I think is the most glaring thing out of all of this, when he says the guy rides on an even keel. Of course he doesn't, and I think he has a drinking problem too, because why would you wait 2 weeks and all of a sudden just go, or are you a defenseless sheep? That's not a nice thing to say to somebody. Okay, but obviously I'm a little bit more sensitive. Patrick is a little bit more sensitive. This guy is not as sensitive. So does that make us any less manly, or does it make him more manly? No. It's just that he really wants to keep his gun and whatever, and he's just really into that. By the way, his whole entire page, I just visited, by the way, to look for this article that he copied and pasted. Everything is political. Everything, almost everything is political. He's got his grandkids in there once or twice and this and that, but it's really just so political. And that was it. It was just me and Patrick Maruki. Oh, no. Is there more? Oh, so I commented, but I just did my usual, propaganda agenda for Dumbing It Down with Dave. Then Linda Irwin wrote, I think this guy is ticked off about other things going on in his life and is just taking it on you, Dave. No doubt he is doing these kinds of things to others. Facebook is toxic and brings out the toxic in people. Good observation, Linda. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. He was ticked off about other things. Why would you wait 2 weeks and then come off so strong? Are you defenseless sheep? And then call me the P word? We're supposed to be friends. You don't call your friends the P word on Facebook for everybody to see. So maybe that's why he deleted him, because he wasn't embarrassed, or he just felt bad. But listen, I texted him after this. I reached out to him. He didn't respond. So whatever. And then Linda Irwin also wrote, nice guys like you are easy targets when someone is looking for a fight to make themselves feel better about how much better they are than others. There you go, Linda. You're right. Joe Foley wrote, good show and enjoy the topic. We can still be friends and not agree on everything. Good point, Joe. Hal Aaron wrote, wow. And by the way, I give credit to Hal Aaron for writing. I know writing on these political posts can be really scary because you never know how it's going to go. But I try to keep it safe, guys. I want you to know, I really do encourage your comments because I try to keep it safe. And I'll hold you back. I'll watch your back for you. I won't let you hang in the wind. All right? I'll support you. And if I don't support you, call me, text me, leave a Google voicemail on the Dumbline, and tell me, hey, Dave, that's not cool, man. You're leaving me hanging in the wind here. So Hal Aaron wrote, I'm sure glad he didn't turn out to be some kind of gun nut or something. As a podcaster, Dave, it's okay to pose a question to your listeners without trying to influence any particular agenda. You were just being a gracious host. If this guy wants to control the narrative, let him start his own podcast, and then he can get as whacked out as he wants to for his audience of 8. There you go. And Lynn Brunet wrote, by the way, from Mile High Radio, HiRadio.com, and Pat Morrow, thank you, at CrookedRiverRadio.com. All right? Lynn Brunet wrote, a lot of friends are biting the dust with everyone, it seems, but most likely for the best. Well, there you go. Those are the 8 comments for that episode, Another Friend Bites the Dust, published on July 6th. I forgot what number it was. But do I dare do another show? Well, anyway, let me just talk about this real quickly. So, yeah, I still see him. We don't say hello to each other. He did pass by me a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month or 2 ago, and said, you could at least say hello. And I said, I did. I did say hello. I sent you texts. And then he laughed, and he walked away. So, yeah, riding on an even keel is apparently not something he does very well or at all. But that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to ride on an even keel. Just don't call me the P word on Facebook and say that I'm wishy-washy when I obviously supported you. I clicked like. I shared it. And I wrote well written and well said, even though he didn't write it. And then I like to have a conversation about it. But apparently, I'll tell you this, folks. I'll tell you what I know. I know that people on the right, people who I know that are on the right, people who are Republicans, all right? By the way, and I am a registered Republican myself. I've been a registered Democrat. I've been a registered Libertarian. Nothing has changed for me. I mean, no, that's not true either. So I guess a lot of things have changed. Okay, whatever. But a lot of the Republicans and conservatives seem to feel that you can't talk to Democrats because they're too emotional and they're too crazy. And I have experienced that. I do have friends. Obviously, I lost my motorcycle riding buddy. And I know other people said, I don't care, defriend me, whatever. Not just to me, but to everybody. Or if you're a Trump supporter, just go ahead and delete and do whatever. Just all this craziness, this emotional craziness. By the way, I'm not a Trump supporter. I voted for him. But that's as far as I go. I vote for you, and then I'm done. Okay, anyway. But I know what people normally mean by supporter. I just don't agree with that definition. Anyway, not for me, I don't. But that's how the right feels about the left. You can't talk to them because they're crazy. They're emotional. And by the way, that's how a lot of the left feel about the right. And this guy is a perfect example. In this particular situation, he definitely was not riding on an even keel and wasn't happy with the fact that 2 weeks went by and nobody responded to him. And then he probably had a couple of drinks and then he went off on the deep end. And he really beat me up. I wish I had copy and pasted his original post because it would show how insensitive he was, especially to a friend. That's what really bothers me. You know, beyond the political, beyond all that, it bothers me that he did this to a friend. Hey, Patrick Maruki, thanks for calling in the Dumbline. Please, folks, know that I have your back. Don't be afraid to comment. It's a safe space, all right? You're all safe here. You can comment and say whatever you want, left or right, up and down, north or south, hot or cold. All right, guys, we'll see you next episode. Thank you, Hal. Thank you for listening to this episode of Dumbing It Down with Dave. Goodbye, good day, good night, good luck, good riddance, good rats, Godspeed, and great skills. Take care. See you next episode.